Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Crypto Night channel, everyone. So let's dive in, Boris. My first question for you today is, what is Osmosis, and can you kind of, talk about their project and let us know, what's there for Osmosis?
Sure. So Osmosis, they are a interchain layer one, a automated market maker on, it's basically a DEX, a decentralized exchange on the Cosmos blockchain, Atom, that we have reviewed before. OSMO is the token for both governance and utility, and they are a what's called an automated market maker. So what is that? And what's the difference with regular DEXs or other centralized exchange? Whenever it's an automated market maker, the way it does it, it has a pool with a bunch of tokens, and the prices, everything is done automatically by the system, as opposed to order books. On a regular exchange like Binance, you have different offers, sellers and buyers, and that's what is going to use to make the price of the coin, of any crypto asset you want to exchange. Here, it's going to be done through a smart contract, and also depending on the liquidity that's provided to the DEX. So it's a little bit different the way it works. It's to try to automate as much as possible, so there is no human intervention. It's built on Cosmos, and the users can transact right now across 47 different blockchains. Now, what's pretty unique about them is they allow you to traders to duplicate existing pools and to create your own. And decentralized exchange, if you take Pancakeswap or Curve or Uniswap, they are decentralized. But here, what they offer is a customizable automated market maker. So you can build using the Cosmos SDK, and so therefore you can make it work with other blockchains. Also, it allows user to have a bigger control on the DeFi activities. One of them is the ability to basically have a pool being kind of its own entity. So it could be like a DAO, decentralized authority organization, and you can set different rules specific to your pool. So if you create a pool, for instance, with OSMOS, and let's take maybe Ethereum, you can build a pool that way, and you can define the different rules and what's allowed, what's not allowed. And the good thing is it helps you being more secured on one side, and on the other, you can adapt also to market changes more easily. So they also use the IBC, which is the inter-blockchain communication protocol, which is part of the Cosmos ecosystem, and that allows Osmosis to communicate with other blockchains. But in the plans, they also have to integrate non-IBC blockchains like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Like we said, Osmosis, that's the native token. It's used for swap fees. It's used for reward. It's used for location of liquidity, and it's used for governance. Also, with the ever-growing popularity of DeFi, recently Binance has listed Osmosis in its innovation zone, and we'll go a little bit more in details about that in a minute.
Thank you, Boris. I appreciate that. Can we now kind of change gears and talk about the history and performance of the coin?
Sure. So, like I said, the automated market maker, that's really a new era of DeFi, and that's going to be something very important in the future. People don't want human interactions. We don't want all the bad stories that happened with FTX. So that's going to become more and more the norm, having those types of protocols in place. As far as Osmosis, they were announced in October 2020, and then they were actually launched in June 2021. It was done by 3 core developers, and their vision is really this. Rather than to try to make something that's like one size fits all strategy for automated market making, they want to provide what's could be considered like a sandbox, so people can experiment, they can do different things, and if they don't like it, then they can change some of the parameters. So that's going to allow people to really experiment things a lot on Osmosis. Also, they are the first Cosmo-based chain to popularize IBC transfers. So they have 3 very important components at Osmosis, which gives them a competitive advantage. So 1, self-governing liquidity pools. So you can govern your own pools, you can create a pool, do it yourself. Then they have super fluid staking, and we'll go a little bit more in details in the staking part of the video on what that means. And then they're MEV resistant via mempools. Now, as far as the tokenomics, they launch initially with 100 million tokens, which half of those they airdropped to, at the time, Atom stakers. Whoever was staking Atom, got a pretty nice surprise when they dropped all those tokens on all those Atom stakers. And the other half, that was the on-chain treasury. And the other thing is, unlike most Cosmos SDK chains, Osmosis has daily epochs. And what does that mean? That means that they're releasing new tokens at the end of each epoch, which means every day they're releasing the new tokens. So if you're staking, you're getting it daily. Once a day, you're getting all those new tokens for your rewards. Also, they have a release that's decreasing over time. At first, they release 300 million tokens, first year. Second year, they decrease that by a third, down to 200 million. Then they decrease it by another third, down to 133 million, and so on and so forth, until they reach their max supply of 1 billion, which is the max supply of Osmosis, 1 billion token. So the new release tokens, the distribution is as follows. They give 25% to staking rewards. They give 25% to developers vesting. They give 45% to liquidity mining incentives, and then 5% for community pool. Their all-time high, that was this year, back in March, they reached $11.25. And then their all-time low was not too long after, they dropped to 68 cents. Currently, they're sitting at almost 97 cents. So they came back up from their all-time low, but they're still below their introductory price. Their market cap currently is 500 million. So they are, a good-sized project. And also on the ranking, they are ranked number 78. So it's a good size project already. They're in the top 100. Their total supply, their currently circulating supply is 490 millions. So they've released about half the tokens. But since they're decreasing in speed, they're going to be releasing less and less every year. And like we said, the max supply is 1 billion tokens.
That's some great information there, Boris. Thank you. Can we now kind of discuss what's new with Osmosis and what's in their future roadmap?
Sure. So the thing is, they were listed back in late October, so about a month and a half ago. They were released on Binance. You could now start trading Osmosis versus a few pairs. Of course, BUSD, which is the stablecoin of Binance, and then USDT, Tether. and also BTC, Bitcoin. So they are now available on Binance, which of course makes it very easy to trade for a lot of people. Also, they were added to the innovation zone in Binance. So that's usually a good sign when you get there, because that means some recognition from Binance that you are a very innovative token. Now, there was, however, the next day kind of a possible bad news, because there was possibly some insider trading going on. So they don't know if it most likely was done inside Binance, because someone had traded magically just the day before it was announced. Someone had traded like 2 million tokens, 2 million OSMOS. So unless he's a really lucky buyer, there were possibly some insider trading, which of course CZ came out, and that was back in May. That was before this incident, and he said that he really, really doesn't want to have anything like this going on in his company, and he has like a zero tolerance policy for it. It's still being investigated. They still don't know who's if it was actually insider trading or just pure luck. And currently, also in a few days ago, it was said that basically the investigation is still on the way, but because of this and because of course, what's going on with FTX and all the other things happening in the market, of course, Osmosis in the short term has suffered a setback. And currently, it's below its launch price. So we're not sure where it's going to go right now, but it looks like it still could go a little further down until the market comes back and until the dust settles with all those different bad stories happening out there.
Awesome, Boris. Thank you. Can we now talk about staking Osmosis? I know we can't really stake on exchanges right now, or it's not the best. Do you have any tips or tricks there, Boris, for us?
Well, the way it works, because Osmosis needs people to stake, and you stake basically with validators. They use DPoS, which is delegated proof of stake, consensus mechanism. Now, the APR varies on a few different things. One is the network usage, two is the inflation, and three, the total stake supply. Right now, if I calculate, because I have some Osmosis, and if I calculate what they give me every day with the number of tokens, it's basically paying me roughly 23% at the current time. But like I said, it could definitely vary a lot if suddenly network usage drops, or if inflation goes up, or there's a lot of people staking, or not too many people staking. It really influences the percentage greatly. So, but currently it's around 23%. You can easily redelegate from one validator to another, so it's instant. There's no minimum amount to stake, and what's cool is they are distributed automatically. It's every day, and it's at a set time. I think in my region, it's in Europe, it's basically distributing around 7 p.m. my time every day. And you can claim them at any time. They don't restake automatically. You have to do it yourself if you want to restake. And you can cancel your stake at any time, but beware that there is 14 days unbounding period, which means that your coins will be locked for 14 days before you can send them to, let's say, Binance, if you wanted to sell them on Binance, or if you want to exchange them on actually Osmosis itself. Now, that is one of the big innovation that they're bringing to the table, which is called superfluid staking, which allows you on one hand to participate in liquidity pools where you provide where you're providing liquidity. And at the same time, you are staking your liquidity tokens to validators on the blockchain. So it's a little bit, original. Now, the initial rollout, Osmosis Liquidity Pool, Atom and OSMOS were the number one, and there are additional pools that are going to be added by governance. So just to give you an idea on what that means, let's say that you are, you have a superfluid discount of 50% of the LP tokens Osmosis value to be contributed towards staking. So if you have $1,000 of assets put in a pool, superfluid stake, you still have the 14-day bonding incentive, earn for all the value, 1,000. 25% of the value would earn rewards from the superfluid staking, $250. And then the entire value, 1,000, is at risk if the validator that a user's superfluid staking allocation is delegated is slashed by 5% or more. So although double signing events are rare, this is an important risk factor to consider. But it is kind of a cool thing, the fact that you can, participate in a pool and use those tokens to stake as well. So it's a little bit like you're doing staking and kind of farming at the same time. So this is the something original with Osmosis.
Awesome, Boris. Can we now talk about what everyone's looking for? Can you give us a price prediction and where you see Osmosis in the future, Boris?
Sure. So now let's remind everybody we're at 97 cents. So by next year, we could be around $2, which would basically double your money, Then 2025, we should be around $4. 2027 will be around $6, $7. And then by 2030, we could reach roughly around $17 to $20. So roughly a 20x from here. But DEXs are becoming more and more popular, so that could also make this one even more popular and push the token, further. But besides the price, you have to remember that, let's say that it only goes to $20. But because you have some nice staking rewards, now it's 23%, but let's say it decreases slightly over time, and at some point, it reaches 10% or 12%. Sometimes it's a little bit like stocks. You have some stocks that pay high dividends and they don't move much in price action. And there are others that do not distribute any dividends, but they actually are having a lot of price action. Here you're getting a little bit of both. You can't just have 100x on a coin that's also going to get you 12, 15% staking rewards. So you have to realize that, yes, by the year 2030, let's say we do reach $17 or $20, you've 17 or 20x your money. But in the meantime, if you have staked the coin and you are restaking it regularly, maybe once a day, once a week, which becomes compound interests at that point, you might be reaching a much larger number. You might double, triple the number of coins you have because of that. So don't forget that in your calculation, because instead of being a 20x, really it could be a 40 or 60x with the compound interests and the mixed in with the price action. So looks pretty good. I like it. Also, it's in the top 100. So, but it's in the lower part of the top 100. So usually those are good coins to make some good returns on. At least that's what I think for myself. Now, of course, everybody's free to invest and raise the money any way they see fit.
Yes. Thank you, Boris. From my side, that's all the questions I have for today. But if you have anything else, please feel free to add it.
That's it. Thank you so much, and we look forward to see you all on the next Crypto Night video. Thank you, guys. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, and if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.